what I'm glad about is that people are liking the performances and just not me. I think all of the cast. I mean, obviously Deepika because she's such a great actress. Nasir sir, तो मैं कुछ बोलना ही नहीं चाहूँगा. मतलब he's a legend. If you see the film closely, he says that कि मैं कोई बड़े यहाँ से आया नहीं हूँ. I've made it on my own. I do identify with that part of his character where he comes from nowhere. He really worked hard and made his way. I am very, I won't say ambitious, but I have a lot of dreams to fulfill. You know, this is still better that people are talking about me because 3 years back I was nowhere on the map. So at least if people are saying bad things about me, that means I still matter and there are expectations. These expectations give me power and motivation to go and get it. Initially, when I heard the script, I came back home and I told my dad that this is my Bazigar. And my dad came to my room to talk about my performance on the film, but I was like, you know,
right.
koi baat nahi.
Hi everyone, welcome to ETimes, and today we've got Siddhant Chaturvedi. Gehraiyaan has just released, and we have loads of questions to ask him. So let's just jump into it. Hi Siddhant, how are you? Welcome.
I'm good. How are you?
All good, man. All good. So I'm just Siddhant. I'm just gonna shoot into the first question. I have just watched Gehraiyaan yesterday night. What sort of reactions are you getting? I'm sure you were anxious. You've been on the promotion spree for a long time now for this film. Vis-a-vis to your expectations, have the reactions lived up to it? What's happening with Gehraiyaan?
See, when I signed on to the film and when we were making the film, all we knew that we would want the audience to have a conversation by the end of it. That there are films which just stay with you like for a couple of days, and you want to talk to someone, you want to discuss about the film. That's all we wanted, and that's happening. People are there are people who are loving the performance. There are people who are finding layers. The people who are have sympathy and empathy for some characters. Some people feel bad for me. Some people really hate me. Some people want to justify some action. So there's a conversation and it's a mix of all of that. But primarily what I think glad about is that people are liking the performances and just not me. I think all of the cast. And I mean, obviously Deepika because she's such a great actress. She's been there. Nasir sir, तो मैं कुछ बोलना ही नहीं चाहूँगा. मतलब he's a legend. But for Gehraiyaan, Ananya and me, for all three of us, I mean, people are really, and to be put in the same, review as Nasir sir and Rajat sir and Deepika, and still appreciate, our performances. I think that's very. I'm really, really glad.
Right.
Thankful.
The play between you and Rajat Kapoor was phenomenal. So, how was it working with a veteran like him? Does that sort of elevate your own performance? I mean, how does it feel?
Absolutely. I mean, I remember my dad is a huge fan of his work. So when I told him that he's playing Jitesh, my dad was like, "You better, up your game." And I was like, "Oh, because he's amazing." And I think, the supporting, the support which I think the cast has, around it really kind of enhances the performance. That's what happened in Gully Boy. When you're working with such मंझे हुए कलाकार, अपने आसपास अगर इतने सारे मंझे हुए कलाकार होते हैं तो आपका परफॉर्मेंस ऐसे ही एनहांस हो जाता है. तो आई थिंक आधा परफॉर्मेंस तो मैं हमेशा अपना श्रेय I always give it to my co-actors because I see myself in their eyes. I still, I know what I'm going to be doing, but when they say action and when we start playing it out, it's like a give and take. And then when that flows, smoothly, then some great performances are born.
I mean, your character obviously has gray shades in the film. वो तो मतलब ट्रेलर से भी मालूम पड़ रहा था. But how much of that Zen's sort of ambition and desperation do you personally identify with? And I'm asking this because you yourself are in a very competitive sphere. Acting and filmmaking is not the most sort of laid back profession. There is a certain competition that happens. So when you see a character like Zen, being a go-getter and so sort of ambitious, do you sort of identify with that, or do you not identify with it?
No, I do identify with that. If you see the film closely, he says that कि मैं कोई बड़े यहाँ से आया नहीं हूँ. I've made it on my own. So I do identify with that part of his character where he comes from nowhere. He really worked hard and made his way, up there. but the way he might have chosen, the moral compass is something which I keep very close to me, and which I'm going to keep intact. I am very I won't say ambitious, but I have a lot of dreams to fulfill. Ambition is also, I think, always taken in the negative way. So I think I have a lot of dreams which I have to fulfill. I have a lot of expectations from myself, and my parents, and the people around me have a lot of expectations. So, and these are very expectations, not in terms of pressure, but these expectations are like, with those twinkly eyes, and these expectations give me power and motivation to go and get it. Yes, there's ambition, but this is, I still am on the white side of the spectrum. At least I would want to see it like that, because and my parents really help me, keep me sane, and my friends, and they keep me like, keep a check on my everything.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay. In our last interview where all of you all were together with Shakun, uh, you said that you're a shy person, and Deepika sort of backed that up and said that most actors are introverts.
Yeah.
So, but then you have to, as an actor, you have to put yourself out there. You're on social media all the time, and you're sort of putting up an image, or even if it's not the real image, a part of it is real, and you're putting it up for public consumption. So how does the introvert personality deal with all this attention, especially right now? You're in a big film, so much of reactions to you. How do you sort of cope with that?
um how do I cope up with that? For me, see, I would detach with the film as it's done, as it's delivered. अभी आपकी हो गई है. For me, in my head, I keep saying that. अभी हमारी film आपकी हो चुकी है, and that's it. And I am already thinking about my next, project. I'm already shooting for Yudra, which is an action film. So I'm already on that. I even during Gully Boy, I never expected a lot. I was just did my work and I moved on, and then things happened, and those things are good things. I think these things are lovely things. And yes, I'm an introvert, and but I really, really love, people appreciating my, work, because that's the fuel which takes you, like, makes you do things, which makes you dream bigger and expand your dreams. So I really take it in a very positive way. I don't, take it in a, it's all noise, and no, 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 no. I really read all the comments. I read the good ones. I read the bad ones also.
Hmm.
But it doesn't affect me so much, because if it's good, I'm like, okay, I did a good job. If it's bad, I feel like shit. It's okay, but I've always, this is still better that people are talking about me, because 3 years back I was nowhere on the map. So at
Right.
least if people are saying bad things about me, that means I still matter, and there are expectations. So I need to work harder, and maybe need to choose correctly. But till now, I mean, it's been like I try to balance it out. I do not mind that attention.
Right. And when you're playing a character as say complex as Zayn, I mean he's technically like almost like the anti-hero. And
Yeah,
and we've had so many people play it before. You've had Shah Rukh who sort of jumped into his career with a
yeah.
similar role. We've had Mr. Bachchan do it. So many big actors have done it. So did you ever sort of, while you were playing this character, did you have like an image in mind that I'll probably do this or do that? Or did you sort of go with the flow? Did you sort of go with instinct?
Um, I because Shakun, because the way he approaches the film and the characters, he makes it real,
Hmm.
and that's what I think we all are, in life. कोई अच्छा नहीं होता, कोई बुरा नहीं होता. Everybody has situations and choices which they make, which define their course of journey. So Shakun's approach is what I approached it like. Even though initially when I heard the script, I came back home and I told my dad that this is my Bazigar. I said that, yes, I said that. But when I got to understand Shakun's vision and his world, and the way I had to play it, because see, I'm a Bollywood fanatic. I've grown up watching these films, so that you cannot take out of me, and I am not apologizing for that. But at the same time, there's a part of me which only and only hears and understands the craft of it. So yes, there was. I mean, I used to do, even after, like, when Shakun got his okay take, I did one Bazigar take, I did one Mr. Bachchan take of it, I did one Mr. Salman Khan's take of it. So we were having fun throughout. Because I mean, I wanted to be in the films because I watched these films, but at the same time, I'm very conscious about, yeah, you can never outdo what they've done,
True.
because they're legends. So if you can't win the game, then change the game. So that's what I stand for. So I wanted to do it in a very new way, fresh way, and that's when I relied on Shakun, and I was leaning on him for that. And I think, yeah, that I wanted to make it as real as possible.
Right, right. And Gehraiyaan has so much of on-screen intimacy. There are such passionate scenes. A lot of us people, creative people, when we make something, we want to show it to our friends, our family. So, did you have those reservations? Oh shit, should I be showing this to family? How are parents gonna react? How my cousins gonna react? ऐसे कोई adverse reactions?
हाँ हाँ यार, ऑब्वियसली मैं लिटरली ट्रेलर वो चालू करके ऐसे रिमोट लेके अपने रूम में भाग गया हूँ। जब मॉम डैड देख रहे थे, डूबे गाना आया, बिकॉज ऑब्वियसली उनको इतनी एक्साइटमेंट भी है कि यार मतलब इतनी बड़ी फिल्म आ रही है, और देयर ऑन द स्क्रीन, एंड दे वांट टू वॉच एवरीथिंग। सो आई गो एंड आई टेल देम कि पापा भी ये गाना अभी 10 बजे रिलीज हो गया है, और ये है गाना। Or then I come back after, like, after he's watched it, and then I come like that, and I'm like, and he's like, wow. It's like, it's beautiful, and they are mature about it, but I feel a little shy, so I keep like, running away from that. But they have watched the film and they really liked it, and I hadn't had any conversation with them after that, because it क्या वो boundaries होती हैं, तो I don't know
Yeah.
how to, like, but I mean, my dad came to my room to talk about my performance and the film, but I was like,
Right,
ठीक है,
right.
कोई बात नहीं.
Cool, cool. And one final question for the interview, Siddhant. Shakun was making a lot of fun of you about all that poetry and notes that you keep putting on your Instagram. And
Yeah.
trust me, I went through your entire timeline, and some of it is it's really deep and engaging, man. I mean,
Yeah.
and I see a poet over there. So, what's the story with that? I mean, are you a poet moonlighting as an actor or what?
Yeah, this was never planned. Yeah. Poetry came to me as therapy in my low time. When I was bullied in school, I liked a girl. She never responded. She always, rejected me, said no so many times. So there were, I was bullied at, I was a shy, lonely child. So poetry started. If you go back to I don't know if you can go to my Facebook and see 2008 and 9. These are still like whatever I write is, it's still like, bits and parts. That time I used to write like proper poetry. So it started off with that. And then my struggle period, and then the heartbreak, my first relationship when it didn't work out. I was really madly in love 4 years, and that didn't work out because she wanted something else in life, and I was going to be changing my course, to Hindi cinema from CA. So a lot of ups and downs in life, and every time I felt lonely, I used to sit and write. And if you have read whatever you've read, you'll find very less happy poetry. You'll all find there's some longing in it. There's something
Yes.
lacking in it. And it all came as a therapy to me during my struggling days still, And now when I'm working on characters like Zayn, where there is depth and there is darkness when things are intense, I use it as a tool, to write what I feel. So I shared a lot of poetry with Shakun, that time, and obviously as much as he wants to make fun of it, and he does it on everyone's face, but he really, really appreciates it, and that was my pitch to him, that because he was looking for a mature guy to play this role. I was 27, 26, I just one film old. With Deepika, it was big. This was my pitch. My poetry was my pitch. As much as he wants to make fun of it, he bought it because he understood that I understand the depth, and this guy is deep and he can pull this off. So that was my pitch, in fact.
Nice.
Get this part.
Nice. So we're going to look forward to a lot more poetry from you, man, on your social media.
Thank you.
We need to see more Gehraiyaan over there.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, Siddhant, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And best of luck for all the new films that are going to come out.
Thank you so much, buddy. Thank you.
All right, bye.